Hello and welcome to the January 2021 layout update from the Trent Valley Railway. In this update we'll take a look at the warehouse unit I've built. This is been made up of the kits from the Will's Modern Industrial Retail unit. We'll look at the work on the scenery and ballasting. Just as a first pass on this is how this is now looking. And finally, we'll look at this latest DCC Sound loco of this Class 37. I hope you've had as good a start to the year as possible. I haven't spent too much time on the layout so far this year, but here's the latest progress that I've made so far. This month I've not been able to have too many weeks outside here in the garage, as it was very cold at the start, but now it's started to warm up slightly. I'm going to discuss here the start of then the scenery that I plan to put in. So at the very back of the container depot and where the buffer stops are, I'm going to be building a little unit to cover up the tarmac on the back scene and blend it in with the greenery there, and then look at filling the gap around this tunnel portal that I have, and the work that I need to do to sort of glue those pieces together, as well as them starting to lay down some of the ballast. And I'll show you the mix of ballast that I've got for these container depot lines here. They won't be glued down to start with, but we'll be looking then at how I've just put that in there and the mix that I've done and what materials I've used. So first off, let's look at hopefully some progress on the little industrial unit I plan to build and put at the back of this container depot area. In true video style, here is something I started making earlier. So this is been made up of the kits from the Will's Modern Industrial Retail unit, and I have put two kits together. So actually you probably only have about half the size of this if you had one kit, so I've had to extend the kit using two of them, and for my preferences here I've just chosen to put in a roller door and a small little fire escape door. And as you'll see through some of these pictures that I'll now put on the screen next to this of how I've built this up with the kit, I've then spray painted obviously different colours on the warehouse panels and then spray painting the roof. I've then also got some of the spare plasticard sheets that I had from some of the container depot area floor and the hard standing that I put down to basically create the back of that. And then this goes very nicely at the very back of the container depot. So I've built up the kit as I've just explained, and painted the panels and the roof. So the last bit I was thinking about is then the bricks that sit underneath the panels, which are currently the grey at the very bottom. And the kit picture on the front has effectively red brick, but then I was thinking that really I want these Accurascale Rory buffers to really stand out here at the back of the container depot, and therefore I have gone and got some brick paper, which is self-adhesive breeze blocks there, and what I'll do now is I'll now put those onto the very lower end of that container warehouse building kit that I've put in there, and we'll then have a look at what that looks like once I've done that. So I've now completed adding on those breeze blocks to the very bottom of the warehouse. Nice bit of different colours between them, and then I've just put those buffer stops on. Obviously if I turn them off, you'll be able to see that that's completed the finish, apart from then adding all the finer details. So also with the wheels kit here come these very small gutter strips, so those will be added across the top. I'll then come to add some signs on the fire escape doors, and then I'll decide later if I want to put up some sort of signage in the area here for the company that owns this unit. But that now very nicely blends the back of the container depot into the back scene. And one of the other things I forgot to mention as well is that obviously, although it does look quite dull being grey, the warehouses on the back scenes are all of the sort of same type and grey as well, so trying to be in keeping with that. And that's now sort of in place at the back there with the finer details to add. Moving on to then the tunnel portal area here. So yes, this has been here for quite some time looking like this, and I just haven't got round to it until now. So the next bit of scenery work to do is to complete this area and then the area that would be on top of here. And again, the objective here is to very much have the area on top of the tunnel portal sort of with a few trees and grassy area to then sort of hide the fact that the trains go off down the incline, but also to blend in with the views onto, again, the back scene here, and so that when you're looking at it from this angle it would all look a lot more realistic than it does at the moment. So the work here, I've gone and sorted out another 2 sections of retaining wall in there, and I've also just sorted out cutting down this extra piece, which will now just neatly fill the gap in there, so that if I was ever to take some sort of shots or look at it from this angle, again it sort of looks like the edge of the warehouse then links in with the retaining wall and what will then be the sort of scenic area of trees and grass that will be above the tunnel portal. So now that I've measured all of this out, I'm then going to add some plaster between the joins. So I've ordered some of that, and then we can then look to start actually colouring this with some of the earth colour pigments and the kit that I've got from Woodland Scenics, and then attaching it onto what I'm going to build is some sort of mini structure here of a short baseboard with some supports, so that it can all be attached onto there. And a bit like what I've got with the warehouse, it can all be detached if ever I need to replace or do anything else in this area, and that it doesn't ruin the back scene that I've installed at the back. So my aim is to start building up the scene at the back, and to do that is then to carry on from the work I've been doing on the container depot and add some ballast to the track in that area. So I have here some grey ballast, which is a fine, and again some sort of slightly darker grey blend. Now I've been through the process here to wash the ballast through, basically then heat it back up to let it dry out, and created this little mix between the 2 ballast bits there. So all of this will now start to be very neatly spread out at the very back here, As I said earlier, it won't be glued down at this point because it's a little bit too cold, so wait for the garage to warm up a bit. But in the next part, we'll hopefully see what this looks like with a bit of ballast down at the back of the container depot. This is how this is now looking. I took the buffer stops out of the way as well, so I could go all the way to the back. And to say that the design has worked quite well here with having the extra height, because I put 2 layers of plastic card down to bring it up to the same height as the container crane rails on the outside. And so now this is all sort of just in place for the time being. Let's have a look at what this looks like with the back scene back in place with the walls, the container warehouse kit that I built earlier, and let's just put a train on this to see what this looks like. I've now done this first part then towards the very back of the layout. Quite pleased with how this is turning out so far, but as I said earlier, there is much more work to do here on then blending in the tunnel portals alongside the end of the container depot, and obviously the main running lines that go through the tunnel. So I'll continue to progress on the scenery over the next month. But now let's take a look at the latest DCC Sound loco and some Network Rail coaches that were released towards the end of last year. This is the latest DCC Sound loco that has been added to the fleet, which is the Collis Rail Class 37. This comes pre-fitted with sound from Bachmann, so I haven't had to do anything with this apart from just take it out the box, program the decoder number that I'd like to use it on, and let's just see how this sounds out the box with some of these Network Rail coaches that have been released recently, which we'll come back to in a minute. With this DCC Sound Class 37 that you've just seen running, so there's 3 coaches. These are the latest Network Rail coaches that have been released by Hornby towards the end of last year. We have a brake force runner here. Then we have the PLPR, which is plain line pattern recognition for the track inspection coach. And then we have a brake at the back with some further seating in there. So if we just move that one on and then bring in the other set, which I have, I've got 2 formations then of the PLPR trains, and eventually I'll put the other 37 on the back, because usually these run in top and tail. But here we then have the DRS 37 that you've seen running a Bachmann generator coach, and then we've got these latest releases again from Hornby. So there is the support coach, another PLPR coach, and a brake here as well. So you'll see this running in future updates on the layout, but for now, thanks very much for watching this layout update. Please do like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. There'll be more videos throughout the rest of this year. Cheers.